My friends, good day. On this channel, it's hard to find a single positive word about Nicolas Sarkozy, his presidency, or his record, even if you look closely. On the contrary, there are a lot of criticisms. By the way, one of my latest books, The Great Betrayals, has 2 chapters. The chapter on the Treaty of Lisbon. The referendum that was not respected by France, which, by the way, was not respected by many countries. They were forced to vote and re-vote until the desired outcome was achieved, weren't they? So, well, today I think we know what the European Union is really made of. And then there's another chapter, the one about the sale of French gold as part of the Washington Agreement. Many European countries were locked in a room in Washington with Alan Greenspan, the head of the Fed at the time, and other top officials from the United States Treasury. And they were forced to sign an agreement to manage the sale of their gold. People don't want to understand that since 1945, European countries have been under American supervision. And that's why they need to be well organized into the European Union, simply because it simplifies bureaucracy across the Atlantic. That's all. There you go, Nicholas. Sarkozy was tried and convicted for believing. So there are a lot of charges, aren't there? I'll see you tomorrow, just before we continue. I know most of my audience opposes Nicolas Sarkozy. So if I want to have a simple day, a pleasant day, all I have to do is come here, throw a lot of things at him, and honestly, I assure you it's super easy. I assure you I can throw intellectual missiles, I throw 5 or 6, and I go home. People will cheer for aldosterone. You're great because you think like me. So I'd like to tell you something. I'm for it. I like victory, but I still like victory that has some style, that has dignity. And I'm not completely sure that what's happening with Sarkozy is a victory. Let me tell you, Sarkozy was convicted for criminal conspiracy for which he will serve prison time. A criminal conspiracy always has a purpose, and that's wrongdoing. Committing a crime as a group, isn't it? Now, the criminal conspiracy was to embezzle public funds, and it was to receive money from corruption. The problem is he was acquitted of the corruption charge. We don't have any evidence. We have statements. We have assumptions. We have people who say things, right? But for any president, even de Gaulle, there will always be people who talk and speculate. But between saying something and proving it, again, there's a difference. The accusations haven't been proven. So we also have the other charge, which was embezzlement of public funds. There was no embezzlement of public funds, according to the courts. And he was acquitted on that charge. So he is being convicted for criminal conspiracy, but the wrongdoing has not been proven. It's a bit like Ghislaine Maxwell, who was ultimately convicted of trafficking young people and all that, but to no one, not fair, like that, into the void. So we have this conviction, we have this sentence that's hanging in the void. There's nothing around it. And when there's nothing around it, well, it's a conviction. Let's not kid ourselves. It's a political conviction. Here we have to read things as they are. Looking at Fillon's and Sarkozy's careers, it's clear this is political harassment. Because in France, those who follow the news, the justice system, the winter news cycle, all that, you know very well that every day, sometimes there are crimes where innocent victims lose their lives. Because the justice system showed leniency, didn't it, towards criminals who had already shown what they were capable of. So in France, people aren't just in prison for no reason. And Sarkozy is going to go to prison, which proves that there is still a certain level of fairness. So of course, there are people who are going to say things in the comments. I can already see it coming. Yes, but there you go. He called some people from Raqqa. He wanted to clean up the projects with a power washer. He did this, he did that, immigration, the Libyan barrier. Yes, I hear all that. And I've talked about it regularly in my videos. Now there's something. He wasn't prosecuted for that. That's right. It means that what you're mentioning, Lisbon, the French gold, all that is not among the charges. That never came before the court. If he had been brought to justice, we would have discussed it again. But in this case, that's not happening. What does that mean? It means we're looking a bit at how it works. We condemn him, and after that, everyone will find their own reasons. All right? Everyone will find reasons. Everyone will read into this condemnation, whatever they want, right? And a lot of people are happy saying, yo, there you go for this or that reason. Except that this isn't justice. This is lynching. It's when you take someone and throw them to public outrage. Everyone comes to beat on them. And then, well, in the end, everyone knows why. It's not that. We know that he represents something bad. So we let the public loose on him. And then people will find their own reasons. Everyone will have their own explanation. Everyone will have a reason why they think what's happening is right, okay? And that's the very definition of mob justice. It's not justice because he hasn't been, once again, he wasn't prosecuted for the gold. He wasn't prosecuted for Lisbon. He wasn't prosecuted for the Kasha. He wasn't prosecuted for any of that, okay? So here you have to be very careful. So what is it? What is it? What's the underlying message today? The underlying message is that French justice can be used to arrest men, potentially female politicians as well. You know what I mean. I think that, for example, Marine Le Pen, who very conveniently condemned, didn't she, Sarkozy? I think she lives in the shadow of bars. She too, potentially, she could find herself caught up tomorrow. Let's imagine it's the day before the presidential elections, or the day before, 3 days before. And then at some point, there you go, there's a detention order. It becomes enforceable. She has to go to jail in handcuffs with photographers from Al Jazeera, cable news network, BFM television, and so on. And then she goes to jail. That's it. It's over. All right. That's what we're doing. That's what we're preparing. So we have to be very careful. You shouldn't say you have to be a chess player. Chess isn't won or lost on the next move. It's a very long game. It's a very long game where every move has meaning. Sometimes it has a visible meaning. Sometimes it has a hidden meaning. And precisely the story of Sarkozy, and on a personal level, honestly, on a personal level, to see this man from a 70-year-old man running through the courts for years is becoming defining. In his life, he has spent more time in court than he has as president. I mean, he spent more time on this recent activity than on the first one, hasn't he? It's true that somewhere inside me, there's something deep down that, there's no more anger, there's nothing left. It's just an old man we're tormenting now. I just want to say, let him go. It's over. It's fine. I agree with everything else. Let the horse be. Let him go. Let him go. There's no dignity in justice, no dignity in the presidential office. I mean, that's where I stand. And also, there's something that bothers me as well. It's that, and I understand, I get them. There are a lot of French people who are very happy. I saw it on social media, right? A lot of French people are very happy. And besides, this video really goes against the grain, right? Of the, how should I say, of the general perception. And they're happy. And what saddens me is that today, they've reached a point where they just want revenge. They just want to give us someone. Let's just send Sarkozy. But you see how life turns around, how life changes. Also, there's a life lesson for all of us. Honestly, it's not beyond Sarkozy, beyond all that. There's still a life lesson. Look at how power is treacherous. Did you see how it works? Back then, Sarkozy, Patrick Poivre d'Arvor, he was someone untouchable. He did the 8-post Meridian News and everything. All right, he said, there's a comment. When he got the first interview with Sarkozy, he said something like, yes, you were like a kid or like a child and all that. The other guy felt belittled. The guy, Patrick Poivre d'Arvor, he just lost it, right? Since then, each president has brought their own journalists, starting a tradition. See what I mean? Every president brings their own people. And after the next election, it'll change again. So you see how he was really adored. The media were at his feet, all that, right? And now it's the same people who were at his feet yesterday who are now attacking him relentlessly. Says a lot about people, doesn't it? I mean, yes, it's sad. So honestly, you know me. You know my activism. You know my positions. We've known each other for years and years, haven't we? But you see, I can tell you, I have my limits. I have my limits. Among those limits, someone between 70 and 80 years old, I mean, when they reach that age range. You see, I'm not the manager of justice. That's not really my thing. I think we have other issues to deal with. We have people who are much more malicious right now. And I think it would be more urgent to take care of that than to chase after this shadow play. There you go. Thank you, my friends, for listening up to this point. I'm sorry for those who were waiting, like, come on, do me a favor, attack Sarkozy. But no, my friends, I think we're going to try to win, but win with dignity. It's a very, very British kind of thing. There you go. See you very soon. It's a very, very British kind of thing. There you go. See you very soon.